oh my God, I made a mistake. Oh my God. Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you don't know me, my name's Abi Mack. I'm a 20-year-old singer-songwriter from Nova Scotia, Canada. Make sure to subscribe, go follow me on my other social media accounts, and go listen to my music because it helps so much. You have no idea. By the end of this video, we're going to answer the question, do I regret dropping out of university? We're going to get right into this. Let me set the scene and tell you what the hell was going on in my life when I was 17 years old, when I was making up my mind about where I wanted to go in my life, what university I wanted to go to. Did I want to go to university? Did I want to go to college? I had no idea. Let me start by saying my high school experience was not the norm. I started high school in 2019, and that was my first semester, and my second semester was 2020, and my second semester, that's when COVID hit, so I was 15 years old, 2020, my second semester of high school, everything shut down, so my whole high school experience was kind of interrupted, if you want to say, by the pandemic. So I didn't really have a full year of high school where we were in school and not online, and everything wasn't kind of messed up for a while. And when I was in grade 12, I was 17, and I remember all of my friends were making decisions on where they wanted to go to college and university in like September and October of our grade 12 year. And I'm sitting there and I had no sweet clue. Like, I just felt like this should not be me yet. As I said, a lot of people were making decisions on where they wanted to go to college really early, or like figuring out and making plans. And myself, I was just like, I just want to get through the year, and then I don't know what the heck I'm going to do. I applied in the fall, like really early on in my grade 12 year, to Medivy, which is a paramedic training program. My mom's a paramedic, so I just thought that I would have that as an option to see if I wanted to go to the college. I ended up getting accepted. I want to say that I have so much respect for first responders, for paramedics, police officers, firemen. I could not do that job. It wasn't for me, and I made the decision to take a gap year. After I got accepted, I really figured out that I did not want to do it. So I took a gap year. I worked at the job I'd been working at for 3 years at that point. I was in a restaurant. 3 or 4 months into my gap year, I felt this urge to apply to school because I saw everybody posting about their freshman year of university, of college, and I was feeling so left out. Like, I was feeling like, oh my God, I made a mistake. Oh my God. So instead of taking that year to really figure out what I wanted to do, I just felt this immense amount of pressure. And when I say immense amount of pressure, it wasn't like people were telling me to like apply, like in my peer group, in my circle. I just felt like this internal pressure to apply to university. So 3 or 4 months into my gap year, I applied for the next September after my gap year to go to university for business for a 4-year program. For some careers, university and college are just necessary. For me, I had no idea what I wanted. I knew that deep down throughout everything I wanted to be a singer, but I was kind of raised in a household where that just wasn't attainable. September 2023, I started university, and shocker, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And this is no hate towards the professors or the people in my class. I just didn't like it. I didn't like what I was taking. I didn't like what I was studying. And I was like, this is going to be my life until I'm 23 years old. And then what the heck am I going to do after? So in December 2023, after my first semester had ended, I dropped out. Not knowing that I was going to be a musician, not knowing anything, I just dropped out. I dropped out and I moved an hour and a half away from where I was living because I just wanted a fresh start. So I moved, I had this really good job. I moved to Halifax. I got this really good job. I was in a new relationship at the time with my current partner now. We've been together for 2 years almost. I got this job helping to manage this company, and I really liked it. Like, it was good. But in February 2024, a couple months after I moved to Halifax, I broke my leg on the job, and it sucked. I had to go on like workers' comp, and it sucked because that was a severe pay cut. It was absolutely brutal, and all I could do in my cast with my crutches was lay in my bed and think about how miserable my life was. And I just felt so useless. Like, my partner borderline had to move in with me. We hadn't even been together for a year, and he borderline had to move in with me. I lived alone with my dog, and he took care of Barkley for me, my dog, and it was fine, but I felt so useless, and the only thing I could do was sit there and think about how much of a failure I was, because I dropped out of university. Some of my friends were in their second year of university, building their career, and I was like, well, I'm just stuck. Like, I'm going to be at this pretty much dead-end job for the rest of my life. And I didn't really love it. I liked it okay. It was fine. And I just felt like I was going to be moving from company to company. I was never going to be happy. And I felt depressed. But it took that for me to really do some internal work and some internal validation to myself. So I did a lot of work on myself. I thought a lot about what I wanted, wrote a lot on my notes app, did some dream boards. I did a lot of thinking for months. I had been through a lot in the year before. Like, a video will be coming about that, what I went through that year before. So I felt the need to run. Like, I already moved to a different community in the province I'm living in, and I felt the need to run. So I actually applied while I was laying in bed, because I was I was pretty much like not able to do anything with a broken leg from February to April. I had singing at the top of my list of what I wanted to do. And I felt like it was still so unattainable, and I had been told my entire life by people that I won't name that it was not attainable, that I wasn't good enough, that it would just be a pipe dream, and it was a little kid's dream, and I had to grow up. So I just didn't even really think about building it as a career. But I did start researching, like, people do this as a career and how to do it, but I just knew, like, oh, this is just, what I'm doing right now because I'm sad, but I'm not doing that. So I decided I applied for, during that bed rest period, I applied for this training program that was actually an international, like, teaching English abroad. So I was thinking about, like, teaching and taking this course in Peru and being able to teach English and get away for a while. And that sounds so crazy, but I was going stir crazy in that bed, and it's still something that I would love to do, like, personally travel abroad, be able to help people. Like, that would be something that would be really cool to do. But I just I applied, I was getting ready to go, and my partner now looked at me and he said, "You don't want to go?" And he was so adamant, and I was so angry at the beginning. Like, he was so adamant with, "You don't want to do this. This is not the career you want to do, and you're running away. You're running away from your problems." If I'm being honest, I was running away because I felt like there was nothing here for me. Oh my God, I'm not gonna cry. I felt like there was nothing here for me. I felt completely alone, and I felt like everybody hated me, and that everybody was becoming more successful than me, and that I was kind of the lost one. After he said that, I spent weeks thinking about that, and we went on a vacation with his family to Spain in May. This is after, like, I was, like, pretty much healed. My leg was still sore, but I was able to, like, walk and move around. We went on that vacation, and I was supposed to leave, like, 2 days later, I think, for Peru. And I remember I was so set to go. I was done. I was going. And when we were on the plane, I don't know, something hit me, and I was just like, what the hell are you doing? You want to do music, let's just do it. And I remember looking at my partner when we arrived in Spain and saying to him, "I don't know how I'm going to do this, but you mark my words that I'm going to do music. This is what I'm going to do now." And he was like, "Oh my God, really?" And I wrote so many songs in the hotel room we were staying at the resort we were staying at. I just had this clarity moment. It was like this, like, the universe, like something like higher than me was like kind of giving me the grace to be like, this is what you were meant to do. These are why all these things happened. These are why all these curveballs and things were thrown at you, because you're supposed to do music. And I listened to it. That was in May of 2024. I started doing music full time after a lot of preparation. I didn't go back to work. I went back to work temporarily in June, but realized it was literally impossible to do that and how much music stuff I was doing. So I took a really big leap of faith. I moved back in with my mom because I was really broke. I moved back in with my mom, and I said to her, I'm like, "I'm doing music." And she was like, "Of course you are. Great." And she was supportive, but she was very hesitant. I proved that I could do it myself, and I still have so much further to go, but that was almost a year ago now. July 2024, I started it full time. I had my website up. I started to do TikTok. I started to really, like, I released my first song in July. It was the best decision I've ever made. So, do I regret it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't regret it. It was a long, hard, painful journey to get here. Every path other than this would be wrong. And yeah, there are some days where I'm like, oh my God, my friends are like getting their degrees and I'm almost 21 years old doing music. but I know that it's worth it. Like, there have been so many good things that have happened to me over the past year of doing music full time, and there is so much coming. Like, I can't believe that this is my life and this is what I get to do full time. I am so grateful. And yeah, so all this to say, if you are in high school, or if you're struggling right now to make a life decision that's going to affect you for the rest of your life or whatever, the number one thing I can tell you is take time with yourself, because your parents, your friends, people in your class, they're going to tell you what their perspective is of what you want to do. They're going to tell you what they see by looking at you. But the only person that can actually know what you're meant to do and know what you want to do is you. And it's okay if you don't. It was a journey for me to figure out what I wanted to do. It was a journey and a half. If you're in the same boat I was in, if you're struggling to make a decision of what you want to do next, don't listen to other people. And that might be controversial advice. Nobody knows you better than you. Go do what makes you happy, because nobody else can tell you what that is. And when you do it, I promise you're going to feel so much relief. You only get one life, and truthfully, we don't know how much time we have. So do the job, build the career, build the business, go to the school you want to go to, go on the trip you want to go to, figure it out, because you only get one life. Anyway, that's my long-winded explanation of saying I don't regret a thing. I post a new video on here every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Atlantic time, so it's 2 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you next Tuesday. Bye!